Okay. I'm just letting it roll. I'm not gonna take and retake, I'm just gonna say what's on my mind, say what's happening. What's going on? Today I want to teach you how to recognize mania and hypomania when it's happening. Recognize bipolar disorder. And it's happening. I did plan to say that. I planned it very detailed. But I don't have a script that I'm memorized or following. So, yeah, right now I'm hypomanic. I'm experiencing practically all of the symptoms. And I wanted to make a video to show you what that is, because the first step of my... Okay, flighty thoughts. You're thinking about one thing, then you're thinking about the next. And you forget what you said before. There's symptom number one I just recognized. Okay, so from that thought I want to say, some people will hear me say that and see me say that and they'll say, you're acting. You're not hypomanic, this is about you making a video. This is fake. That's the first reaction of a lot of people when they discover their family member, their friend, someone they love, is experiencing these symptoms. This isn't really happening. This isn't real. You're faking. Why is that hurtful? Why does that hurt your relationship with the person? Well, for one, it is happening. And the person who you say that to, whether they've reached the point in their illness where they're willing to admit it consciously, where they're willing to say, no, this is real, or whether they have tried to make you right by believing you. They've tried to say, okay, this isn't happening, this isn't real, this is normal, this isn't illness, I don't have mental illness, and they go into denial because everyone tells them to. Everyone tells them it isn't happening, and they want to make that person happy. They want to believe that person. Well, what happens is it moves on. The illness is real, and it can move into psychosis. And when that happens, sometimes the people still think they're faking. They refuse to believe that it's real. So eventually what happens is a separation in the relationship. I can't live with you if you don't believe this is real. That's what my whole song Emerging's about. It's about that world of isolation where you think nobody believes you because they say they don't. You think that what is real, you think there's something wrong with you, but you don't know what it is. And it's all of that creates a world of isolation where you have to emerge from. So, yeah, there's symptom number one. Symptom number two. Symptom number two is how hard it is to listen to people with mental illness. That may be what you're experiencing right now. Because what we're saying, we're so passionate about it. We feel this is so dang important. This is so big that you don't feel it. And a lot of times what we're saying is so flighty you can't follow it. And so most people have one of two reactions. If it's in a video, the reaction is scroll away, I can't handle this, or this doesn't apply to me, or I don't want to deal with this, I don't want to watch this. that's the reaction. Can't handle it. Can't handle what we're saying. Can't stay with this. Can't care about what we're feeling. It's too hard. So you scroll away. And if it's with someone you love and someone you really care about, then you try to listen. You try to listen to these obsessions we have. Right now, my obsession is making this video. So you try to listen to it. And it's exhausting, and there's nothing in it for you. You start to get the feeling this is all about you. And no matter what I say, you don't get better. You don't listen to what I say. So I can't say anything to help you. What's my point in this? What's my purpose here? And you take it for as long as you can. For some people, it might be a half hour. It might be an hour before you finally say, okay, I need to go to the bathroom. Or something happens and you finally get freed from this prison you're being held in by the person who has to tell you this most important obsession. And then what happens? Well, the next time you get a phone call, sorry, I'm busy. Sorry, I can't come to the party because I know you're going to be there. Sorry, Mom, I can't go to the party because I know she's going to be there and she's going to talk about this. And I just can't handle it. And she doesn't understand what she's doing to me. She doesn't even see how hard this is for me. All she cares about is whatever that obsession is. Notice I'm saying she. Yeah, it's happening in my life. That this symptom, this phenomenon, this reaction is happening in my life with someone else in my family. Okay, so another thing, another symptom, maybe you're noticing, maybe you're not, is passion. I'm feeling right now. I feel what I'm saying. Like, this is really important to me. I feel it. And to some people, when they see that, they don't recognize it's mental illness. Early on in my life, when I didn't recognize it was mental illness and others didn't recognize it was mental illness, I was on my mission. And the mission president, the missionaries, everyone that saw this passion, this energy, they're like, holy cow, Hogan's on fire. He's doing so good. Why do they say that? Because what are missionaries supposed to be? Well, they're supposed to be passionate. They're supposed to feel love. They're supposed to believe in what they're saying. Check, check, check. I'm doing all of those things. And in their minds, check, check, check. Hogan is on fire, man. He is doing awesome. So nobody saw that I was on the edge of a cliff, practically to psychosis. Up until I was in psychosis. That's when everybody said, oh, yeah, he was way too passionate. Yeah, he was over the top. I didn't see it now, but I didn't see it then, but I see it now. Yeah, I wish I would have recognized it earlier. Am I on the edge going into psychosis? If I didn't recognize it, right now I know what's happening. I know this isn't about you needing to see a video about me having mania. This is about my mania. I know that, and I recognize it. So I'm not going to keep doing this video until I go insane. People who don't recognize it would keep working on this video, making sure every bit of the script was perfect, was exactly what they wanted to say, and they would obsess for hours and hours and hours about what they said in the video, and they take after take after take, going, I didn't say it right, it's not perfect, and they're psychoanalyzing every tiny piece of their obsession until they go crazy. Their obsession literally drives them crazy. That's what happened on my mission. Then my obsession wasn't making a video, it was truth. And if you read my book, Bipolar Disorder and Truth. I'm gonna make a book come down right here when I do my editing. If you want to read the story and see the process in that, how did Andy really go crazy before? It's all in my book. Bipolar Disorder and Truth. And a lot of you who are my friends and family have read the book, and you know. And you probably recognize what's happening right now. Maybe not. I don't know. My wife did. Well, she did and she didn't. She suspected something was up because she knew I had been doing something with a friend that I want to tell you all the details of. But she knew that what I was doing would trigger my mania. She knew that would trigger these thoughts, this passion, this energy, this mania. And it was also 7:30, about 7:30 this morning, when she woke up and I was by her side staring at her with my eyes wide open because I hadn't slept. I think that gave her a clue too. Now I think of it. So we talked about it. We talked about what happened. And then we talked about my mania. She has learned not to get caught up in the topic of my obsession. That trying to let me explain everything to her that happened and all these feelings I have and why it's so important. She doesn't get caught up in those details. And because I recognize it, I don't get caught up in just pursuing that mania, just pursuing it, thinking that it's so important, thinking that this is reality, because I recognize it's mental illness. So, yeah, my wife recognized it, but she also said, I was talking to my daughter, and I was telling her with passion about why I'm afraid of getting my cavity filled tomorrow, because when I get my cavities filled, I don't use anesthetic, I don't get numb. And I was telling her why. I was really animated. My wife goes, "Man, you're animated." And I said, "Yeah, I'm manic." And she goes, "Oh yeah." So she recognized it, but she didn't. And this is after 25, 26, sorry babe if I don't remember the exact number, 26 years of marriage, I think that's right. So it's hard to recognize. And now what I'm thinking is, I'm talking too much. You're gonna leave, you're gonna get bored. You're gonna lose interest. I'm demanding too much of you by asking you to watch this much. So I better end it. Yeah. That's what I gotta do. What do I do now? I finished my bike ride. I'm exercising. That's another thing that Mania wants you to do, is go, like have all this energy. I was coming up a hill. Nope. There's the details I want to get into. I want to tell you that you don't want to hear. You don't need to hear. I'm gonna take my meds. Bottom line, I know I need to get my meds in me. I know I need an extra dosage to slow it down. And I know I need sleep. Because once I get real sleep, I slept for maybe 2 hours this morning. That was it. Then I was wide awake, and I did take my meds. So I need extra meds to make sure I get into that REM sleep. And this cycle, my bipolar cycle, can reset. When I wake up, I'll be depressed. I won't feel like editing the video. I won't even care about the video anymore. But that's what I need to do to stop myself from going over the cliff, from going into psychosis and having to go to a hospital again. Those days are gone, thank goodness. And the way I did it is what I'm talking about right here. The first step is reach. The first step of reach is recognize. Recognize what is happening. Okay, I'm gonna make REACH come up right here. I'm gonna make a logo come up so you know where you can find more information. And then I'm gonna fade out. Okay. Classic example of mania. I didn't get everything in that I needed to. I didn't get it right. There's one more thing I have to do. I have to say this. What the heck is this beer can doing here? Have I been drinking? When I pulled up my bike, this is so funny. No, the answer is no. It's unopened. It's not full. I don't know why there's none in it. There must be a hole in it. I didn't drink it, Mother. I didn't drink it. And I didn't plan to put it there. It was here when I got here. And I'm gonna leave it here. My mother has bipolar disorder, and her obsession is obedience to God. And she believes, and I believe too, God's church teaches not to drink alcohol. It's the members of this church, one of our rules is no alcohol. So when my mother, the thing that triggers my mother is disobedience to God. That's how I grew up. That was my upbringing, was this isn't mental illness. This is you not being good enough for God. This is you disobeying God. That's why you feel bad. That's why you're depressed. And so, for a long time, that's what I believed. I believed that God was a giant finger in the sky pointing down at me saying, guilty, damn you to hell, repent. That's what I thought God was for years and years and years. And I talked about becoming authentic in one of my previous videos. So look that up. I won't go into that. I'm just going to say I was going to use this as an example of my mom's obsession. Actually, I don't remember what I was planning to use it for because my thoughts are so flighty. I forgot that I put it there. And then when I stood up and turned the camera off, I had the beer can sitting in the background the whole time. So a lot of people who their obsession is religion, that's the first thing and the only thing you saw through the whole thing. Well, I guess you can believe me or not that what I'm saying is true. But anyway, that's what the beer can was here for. That's why it's in the video. Okay, now I'm done.